Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads with our Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, June the 4th races at Hastings. We do have 8 races on tap, a full field, a 12-horse field of 3 and up older Colts and Geldings in the Johnny Longden 6,000.
What a race that is. That's awesome. That is the feature, the true feature, the 7th race of the card.
What a cool race. Get 12 of them. We had a really good division so far, the older horses. You know, a lot of our... You know, some of the stakes divisions are a little light, but not the older horses.
No, it's not.
It's been well attended at the entry box.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, 8 races on tap. First post, 150. Let's get right into it. First race is a maiden 16 for fillies and mares, going 6.5 furlongs, field of 5. And I did go to the 5. Cool Candy. Lost a heartbreaker last time for owner Praven Sorensen. Looked like the winner, Notice the Jewel, got up to catch her late. Looks like there's some speed in here that should set it up for her. A Star to Be, my second pick. Looks like she'll go. I see her sitting just off her and gets the job done for trainer Taylor Anderson and rider David Lopez today. Cool Candy's my top selection. A Star to Be was in that same race. Got beat a couple lengths by Cool Candy. Could try and kick loose in here, and she could be dangerous. Mark Luce betting 29% right now. A Star to Be in the second spot, and I put Free and Fast. The third spot, good second last year in the Sale Stakes. She's the stakes place mare by Finality. Some of these other fillies already had a start when she ran against him, ran a 4th last time. I didn't mind her last time. I'm going back to her in the third spot. Free and Fast for me. 5, 4, and 3 for me.
Yeah, I agree with the 4. Cool Candy's your horse to be. I mean, this horse repeats his last race. I mean,
she's going to win it.
She's getting into the winner's circle. And so Cool Candy, with a repeat of that race, she chased the fast fractions that were being set by A Star to Be. And I thought ran a very good race. Those are the horses, 5 and 4. And I put the 1-horse Warrior as well, come in for third. Rob Gilker.
Yeah, he's dangerous.
Yeah, and I just thought the horse might, you know, off of works, respect the connections. So give this one a shot. Romario Saunders has been aboard quite a few horses in the morning for the Gilkers. So 5-4-1 for me in the Sunday opener on to race number 2. Field of 5, going a mile and 16th.
Tough field of 5.
$8,000 claimers. I ended up on the 4, Prince Hotel. I think this horse gets the lead. Going to be pretty dangerous. Him or what goes around and gets the lead. I thought it was those two. I don't see any speed in the race, so I'm going to take. It looks like it's going to be a 24, 48, 49 half. I'm going to try one of those two to win it. I went Prince Hotel over the 2, what goes around. A little difficult making your first start in almost a full year, but he's been working well for Barb Heads, and this horse wants to route. It's all he can do is route. His sprints are terrible. His route races are very good, and I give him a shot. That race behind Bear Rock and Roll and Brother Chunky to close out a season was very good. And his loss to Street Map, he had a lot of trouble in that race and unlucky not to beat Ganbei. And these horses are okay, but I mean, what goes around is run against some pretty nice horses.
Yep.
And I put Citron. I was between the 1 or 3 and for third. None of them have speed, so I was uninterested in either for winning the race anyway. I went 4-2-3.
You can make a case for everybody in here, really, when you go through it. I went to the one, Never a Doubt. When you look back, he does have some early lick. Last fall, when he ran on the turf, but at Del Mar for $25,000, those are tough races. Only got beat a couple lengths. We've seen this happen already this year. Greg Tracy bringing a horse in from somewhere else, spots it aggressively. This is the cheapest the horse has ever ran for. Puts him in for $8,000. Gets leading rider David Lopez. I don't mind Never a Doubt. I'm going to put him on top of Citron Kid, who they've been dying to run long. This horse is a much better horse going long. And Amadeo Perez, Phil Hall, been on fire. Respect everything out of the Phil Hall barn right now. And Amadeo Perez goes back to Citron Kid. Put him in the second spot in your horse, Prince Hotel. What a year he had last year. 8 starts, 5 wins. A good second, 2 starts back under Enrique Gonzalez. Richard Hamill, his old rider from last year, takes over the reins. That will help his cause. I like 1, 3, and 4 in the second. But the 2 that I left out, Seeking a Son, made a case for. He's good off the
route horse.
And what goes
They're
around.
route horses. Prince Hotel saw us a very good route. I took him just because of the pace.
I like all. Take the all button. The second race. On to the third, a $16,000 claimant event for older Colts and Geldings. Going a mile and a 16th, non-3 lifetime. I went to the 6 here. We Found Gold. Pressed the pace early on in the first one, but I don't really see much pace on in here. I think he gets the lead, maybe Mighty Mesa, but he's not really route speed. And I don't see anybody that wants to go the lead going long, and this horse can carry him a long way. Was running going long, good races last year for much higher amounts. I like We Found Gold. He's in light with the Bug Boy. I put him on top of the 4 Ebony Warrior. Good first out this year in a 16 non-2, just got beaten neck behind Omega Victory, Mighty Mesa. Mighty Mesa had already had 2 races, a race under him when these two hooked up. So I think he moves forward for trainer Glenn Todd. And I put Santa Fe Trail in third spot, first time in his life, in for a price. Didn't really seem to like the track last time. I'm going to go back to him. I'm encouraging Amadeo Perez to stick with him, and he's come back with a good work in 48-3. Santa Fe Trail for third. 6-4-1 for me.
He's got speed. He's got road
He
speed.
could go, yeah, I know.
His races
when I
last
looked at,
year, when they routed him, he was up near.
He was going
on
long.
the lead.
I was thinking that.
Just you can go 23-3. That's all you need to do to get the lead. But I went to Mighty Mesa. I'm not in love. This horse had a lot of chances.
I know. That's why I left
1
him
for
out, just because
15.
I
You're going
know.
to get 8-5 or 7-5 on him. I know he's not a great pick, but one of these days I guess he'll break 3. Had every shot to win last time. Couldn't beat Omega Victory, and then lost second to PS Diamond Cutter. I put him on top. Put the 4 Ebony Warrior. Did encounter some trouble in that sprint.
Yeah.
Definitely a horse that can move forward. His route races behind Pfeiffer and Silent NATO were quite good as a 3-year-old. So, give him a shot to rebound. I put the 2 horse Great Promise in for third. He's a route horse. He defeated Santa Fe Trail, Santa War, and he did lose to We Found Gold when the pace was slow. But if the pace is right, he's eligible. Santa Fe Trail, Sunset Drive, We Found Gold, pretty they're all similar to me. I went 3, 4, and 2. I don't love anyone in that race. It was
Wide open event.
Different. Another difficult race.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. On to the 4th race, $8,000 Fillies and Maris going 6.5. I really like the 6 in here. Such a bargain.
Yeah.
I guess if you're going to pinpoint one, this might be the one. Look for her to, sit off of Prettier Than You, but you still got droppers in here like Prettier Than You and Belly Girl coming down from 16. So, but she's going to have to be very good to win. But I put Prettier Than You in for second. Must respect her speed, and she was very fast, but did cave in late. But still, she's a filly that is running against easier. And I put the 1 Bear's Little Whisper, who's a 3-year-old filly by Tatey. Bear's True Gal, who's very fast. And this one's thrown down some nice work, so I'll give that one a shot for third. But I went 6, 5, and 1. I like Such a Bargain.
I like Such a Bargain, too.
Yeah,
I really like
that's
Such a
the horse.
Bargain.
That's
That's the one to beat. I got Such a Bargain on top. I put Bear's Little Whisper in second, just because it's kind of...
I agree. This horse has got some talent. Looks like she's got some ability.
She looks pretty live. Like gate work in 1:03, a minute and 3/5 looks very live for Dr. Ken Walters. Bear's Little Whisper in second. I put out of those 2 horses that were dropped for the 16, I went with Belly Girl. I like that first race of the year behind Extramarital Mayfair Lady. If she can repeat that effort, she can be in this. So I put Belly Girl in the third spot. 6, 1, and 7 for me, but definitely like Such a Bargain. On to the 5th. Optional 25 for 3 and up. Another
good race.
Tough
Big
race.
field of 10. Great card today.
It is a really good card.
Big fields.
It's a good card when you're having trouble picking winners. There's no
struggling.
standouts. I went to Salzburg. He just won this event. He absolutely demolished the field. He had the speed is to his inside. I think the other dangerous speed in here is Catch Me. He can sit just off of him. The Imposing Cat's on the other side, but I don't think he needs the lead. I see him maybe sucking back a little bit. So I put Salzburg on top of Imposing Cat. I think David Lopez sits a good trip with this guy in behind Salzburg.
Right.
He's got a great work in 59-3 heading into this race for owner, trainer, breeder Glenn Todd. Him in second. I put Catch Me, a very impressive winner of the maiden $25,000 category. That was a tough maiden 25. I mean, I think this guy could have won a maiden special weight here with the way he ran that day.
He was never tested.
It was impressive, and another one's very live in here. I can't stand alone on anybody. Those are the 3 I like. 9, 10, and 3.
I agree with those 3 horses. I put Catch Me on top. As I said, he was waiver. It was a maiden 25. He was like Imposing Cat. You're waiver protected, and they chose to take advantage of if you're off for 6 months, you can protect your horse for the price or less or more. Pardon me. That you last ran for, and they chose to run for 25 and got into an easier spot, and the horse ran great. He was, like I said,
never in question.
Amadeo had so much horse left. I like this runner-up effort to Salzburg to close out the season. He got stuck in behind a slow pace, popped out and almost beat him. I think he's as good as Salzburg, so I put him to win it. Put the 10 Imposing Cat in for second. Looked very impressive in his win, and the 9 Salzburg. I went 3, 10, and 9. I agree with the top 3. I think those are the ones you need. In the 5th, on the 6th race, 6250 claimers going 6.5 furlongs. Another big field in there,
11.
Pile of them, 11 of them. I went to 7 Power Corrupt. Jeff Birmingham chooses to ride this one over Samilkameen Joey, who he just finished winning on for 4,000.
Yeah.
But Power Corrupt's a pretty nice horse. He's come back with a good work after being scratched last weekend. But this horse, I've had a pretty good one behind Merlot and Prince Hotel. And it's a lot easier assignment, I think. So I'm going to try him to win it. Sir Barkley, long time in between wins for him. He's only won for 14 the last 2 years. But he ran some winning races last year and just didn't get the money. That starter series was tough on him.
Yeah.
It actually showed. He didn't get a big break. He went right down to Phoenix, and it showed his season was over. He ran poorly, and he's better than that. He's been rested up, been working well, and I think this horse deserves another chance. And I put the 6 horse. What do you do with Devil in Disguise? He was retired to be a stallion.
I know.
The stallion career didn't go so well, so he's been gelded. And that's just no fun.
Some tough luck of late.
I know, this is no fun. And
not only did that not work out, they took away his
took
unit.
away his
his
privates.
equipment.
Yeah, and but he's been working well and is at a reduced level here for 62.50. Reduced.
Well, on back class, he absolutely destroys the field.
Yeah, no,
but it's been a couple.
Hard to lead him off. So I went 7,
Yeah.
4, and 6. I did not lead him out of the top 3, but playing the pick 4s, you definitely need him. But
to have him in there, I didn't have him on my ticket, my top 3, but I mean, what a classy boy. He made almost $250,000. I went to Cowboy Phil. This horse is on a roll right now. He's won 2 in a row. Phil Hall's on fire. Enrique Gonzalez suits his horse perfectly. The main speed is Smilkameen Joey last time got on the lead, and it was like a pretty soft lead, and he still almost got caught by Ambidextrous Duke. So I like Cowboy Phil on his outside. I think that he puts the pressure on him, and I think he's just a better speed horse than him. I like Cowboy Phil on top. Of Nana's Buddy, he comes out of some pretty tough 8s. That tough 8 with Born on the Track and Last Year's Reward. Now he's back into 62.50 where he did a lot of damage last year. There's enough speed here to set it up for him.
Yeah, there's been no speed in his first 2 races, you're right.
Exactly, and now he gets some speed in here. You got Smilkameen Joey, you got Cowboy Phil, you got Power to Believe. It should set up for him. He's an awesome closing sprinter. What did he win? 5 races last year. He's 8 of 9 first or second. He's a cool little guy. Got Nana's Buddy in the second spot. I put Power to Believe. A speed horse, but Jody Rawson's going great right now. Does break from the 10 hole, but he's just a horse with a fair bit of talent and enough talent to fit in with this bunch, I think. I went 5, 3, and 10 in the 6th. On to the 7th. The mentioned John London 6,000. Big field of 12 in here.
4 pages.
4 pages. Don't even have room.
I know, we need a bigger table.
There we go. I need a bigger table. There we go. All right. I went to the 10 Bistraya, the one that comes up here from California. The one start, that first start in the George Royal, I thought he ran a huge race.
Big race.
See that we go from the George Royal to the John Longden. You like that
yeah,
segue
very
there?
good.
Only got beat a half by Modern. Was absolutely flying at the wire. I actually thought he was going to get there, and 6.5 is not really his game. He likes to go long. Now it's his time. Last time he went a mile and 16th, he was 4th. I was in an optional 62 at 78. The time before that, going 7 furlongs, he won an optional 40. Those are tough races down there. Rob Gilker's always dangerous these kind of races. Him and Amadeo Perez team up well. I got Bistraya on top. One of my favorite horses of the track, Venetian Mask. He's ran 2 bang-up races. A good second behind Distinctive Passion. Another one was absolutely flying at the wire that day, going 6.5 under Jeff Birmingham. Came back with a good 3rd behind Martin and Bistraya. Another one that, look at that run in the Premiers, just beat ahead by the very tough Killing Me Smalls, who has come back to win another stake this year at Edmonton. Honest, tough horse for George Morgan. Got Venetian Mask in the 2nd spot. And I put last year's Derby winner, Sorry About Nothing. Throughout that first race, I'm glad he got it under his belt. Now he goes long. Of the 2 Glenn Todd horses in here, David Lopez lands on Sorry About Nothing. I'm going to go back to the Derby winner. Hope that he can make some noise in this race, in an absolutely great race, last year's Derby winner. 10, 7, and 2 for me.
I know, it's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny. I can bug David, but I mean, yeah, chose opportunistic in the Derby and not.
Now he goes
Sorry about nothing. That didn't work so well. I'm not going to go the other way. But yeah, they're both nice horses, though. This is a really tough race.
I know.
I've gone to Venetian Mask. I think he's solid. I mean, Modern's the best horse in the race. Bistraya, like, these horses are really good horses, but they need pace scenarios. They need something to go right. Venetian Mask, I think, is the horse that can adapt to whatever situation is thrown at him.
Yeah.
If the pace is slow, he can go out there. He's got some speed. He doesn't have sprint speed, and if he can sit the trip, I mean, he's a cool horse that does not need to pack a race scenario with him every time he comes over to the starting gate.
Good point.
He doesn't need anything to go his way. So I think he can overcome adversity, and I just like the horse. He's an honest horse. Didn't get his trip last time. Things were way too slow in the head end. It was slop too. He gets
Yeah.
back on a fast track. He's a nice horse, Venetian.
He
I'm
is
going to go
really
with him to
cool.
win it for another friend of the show, George Morgan.
Absolutely.
The 9-horse Modern, I put him in for second. He's going to be out there winging, and he's won a lot of races here. 8 for 24 here at Hastings. He's won a lot of stakes races, and Richard Hamill rides him beautifully. Modern is my next best horse, and I put the 10 Bistrea, who scared Modern in the final portion of that race, and was actually running really well. And Rob and Vicky done a great job with Bistrea, and I don't see this horse not being able to win either. I mean, this horse can win, and it's just a matter of
It's a lot of horses in there that can win.
I almost wish that he would have drawn the 11 and Christofferson the 10, because Christofferson's going to probably roll from his outside gate, and this Bistrea may get caught up, shuffled back or something. I don't know how it's going to play out, but Bistrea is definitely good enough to win. Crazy Prophet's kind of little bit of a long shot to throw in.
It's your dark horse.
Tough trip from the 11 hole last time, sprinting in the slop. He gets to stretch out and go long. His route races last year. He was second in the Derby. He won the BC Cup class. He's better than that. He's good going long.
Tough horse, yeah.
Don't overlook Crazy Prophet.
Street fighter, too. I like that about him. He is a fighter. I like that.
And Calgary Caper, we're going to see Kim and Lance out here this weekend.
Yes,
which is
absolutely.
Cool. Best of luck
gets
to
back
them.
going long.
Yeah, he's another one. 2 sprints, got a little exercise, shook off a little rust, and he'll be more dangerous as well. Enrique Gonzalez will ride him for the first time. But I'm going to go 7, 9, and 10 in a very I left out Glenn's horses, and there's a lot. Too many to name. There's a lot of nice horses that we've left out of the top 3. On to the 8th and final, maiden $4,000 claimer. Field of 7 signed on. I'm going to go to the 4, Milshon. Scratched out of the 8,000 yesterday to run in this race. Good runner-up effort to Majestic Stance. That was good enough to make him the fave in here. I put the 3, Believable, who I think has some upside. He only has the 1 race throughout in his career. He was only beaten a length and a quarter after a tardy beginning from it. As usual, when you have the 1 hole as a first-time starter, you seem to get away poorly, and he did. He lived up to that. But he has every reason to move forward. I put the 1 Classic Victory in for 3rd. This horse, good 3rd behind Sunny's in Command and Remember Softly. I thought that was a better race, and this one could even win it. I was between 1, 3, and 4, but I went 4, 3, 1.
I went with the 1. I went with Classic Victory. That only got beat a half last time. Closed really well.
Actually, Sunny's in Command came back to run really well in a non-2 also.
Yeah.
Run second, I believe.
Yeah, he came back and run second, and Enrique Gonzalez and Mike Anderson team up well together. I really like that closing move. He didn't have a great trip, but he was flying late. I like Classic Victory on top of Believable. A horse that was his first start running against Milshon's had 6 starts. So these horses have a lot of starts, and does have a license to move forward here in just his 2nd start of his life, Believable. And I put Chase the Money in the 3rd spot for Dave Milburn. A good 4th behind Nacho, Humphrey Ladd, Clever Counsel, better horses, and he had a brutal trip too. He got checked bad, and look for him to come back and run a bigger one at half the price under Skylar Whiteshield. He's live in here. I got 1, 3, and 7 in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday card. Up next on Screen will be picks. Mike, as always,
here we go.
Are up first.
Race 1, number 5, Cool Candy. Looks like a graduation day for her. 5, 4, and 1. Race number 2, I went to the 4, Prince Hotel. I'm not sure his road ability, but he's definitely going to get the lead. 4, 2, and 3. Race number 3, I went to the 3, Mighty Mesa. 3, 4, and 2. Race number 4, the 6.
Bless you there, Michael.
Almost made it through 2 shows. I went to the 6, Such a Bargain. 6, 5, and 1. Race number 5, the 3, Catch Me over the 10, and Closing Cat and the 9, Salzburg. Race number 6, the 7, Power Corrupt over the 4 and 6. Race number 7, Venetian Mask over Modern and Bistrea in the 8th and final. Number 4, Milshon. 4, 3, 1.
On to my picks. There we go. Back in the first, I agree with Mike. I'm on the 5, Cool Candy over the 4 and the 3. Can we get a medic over here?
I know. We got a 9-1-1. Edsy's going down.
I'm going to lose Mike.
Yeah.
In the 2nd, I went to the 1, Never a Doubt over the 3 and the 4. Back in the 3rd, I went to the 6, We Found Gold over the 4 and the 1. In the 4th, I agree with Mike on number 6, Such a Bargain over the 1 and the 7. In the 5th, I went to the 9, Salzburg over the 10 and the 3. In the 6th, I went to the 5, Cowboy Phil, looking for 3 in a row over the 3. Now it's fighting the 10, Power to Believe. And in the John Longden, 6,000, the 7th, I went to the 10, Bistrea over the 7, Venetian Mask, and the 2, Sorry About Nothing. And in the nightcap, I went to the 1, Classic Victory over the 3 and the 7.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. hopefully we've given you a few winners. Hopefully get a little insight anyway. Hopefully get you some more.
Get you some winners,
Get some tries.
some
and
money in your
supers,
jeans.
Get you some pick 4s and pick 6s. A pick 6 carryover too. Just under 5,000 heading into the Saturday.
Yeah,
card.
yeah,
We
yeah.
should
It's
note
getting
that.
up there again.
4,900.
Yeah.
But our next live cards will be Saturday, January the 10th, and Sunday, January or
June.
June.
June
We'll go to June.
Mike's got the hack it fit. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll
can
see you
close
next
it out.
week. We'll be up again Thursday. Next
Belmont
week's racing
next week,
is
too.
the Belmont,
next week.
on Saturday, June 10th, and then Sunday, June 11th. Hope we helped you out. See you next weekend here at Handicappers Corner.